Throughout the history of our planet, untold billions of species have come and gone throughout the ages, facing extinction-level events that required new life to take on different forms. Oddly enough, there appears to have been a number of reports of people encountering creatures that are believed to have been extinct for several million years. Though many of these reports are impossible to verify, the sheer amount of them have left many wondering if perhaps there are a number of modern-day species that have survived throughout the countless millennia waiting for us to discover them. So today, here at Unexplained Mysteries, we will be going over 5 different mysterious creature encounters with prehistoric species that have long since been considered extinct, and researchers are still trying to explain. Encounters with the Mapinguari. One of the most interesting accounts of a strange discovery made within the dense Amazonian jungle is that of modern-day accounts of encountering a large ground sloth. Though many locals refer to the creature as the Mapinguari, an ancient Brazilian monster of native folklore and legends, it's described as having the skin of a reptile, one large eye, a second mouth on its stomach, long claws and backwards feet. Many modern-day sightings, however, have instead described the creature as being that of a massive sloth-like creature that moves slowly, has long arms capable of tearing apart trees, a sloped back, and can stand up to 7 feet tall while being covered from head to toe in a thick and borderline impenetrable matted fur. Interestingly enough, what many people are not aware of is the fact that when Charles Darwin first visited areas all throughout South America, he came across the bones of a now extinct megafauna known as the giant ground sloth, a large cousin of the modern-day sloths throughout South America, but estimated to have stood at the size of a bear. When he first discovered the bones, Darwin remarked at how young they looked, believing the bones to have been freshly made by an animal that had just recently died. Further studies would confirm that the giant ground sloth would be around as recent as 10,000 years ago, before the Great Ice Age had formed, and could have survived for a short period after. This has left many believing that perhaps the modern-day accounts of the Mapinguari are merely encounters with surviving members of the giant ground sloth believed to be extinct. Plesiosaur sightings. First appearing in the fossil record as far back as 203 million years ago, the Plesiosaur had long since been a dinosaur species that was known for ruling the oceans of our world and had a reign that lasted for a tremendous amount of time. Unfortunately, for reasons not entirely known, the species faded from existence as fossil records could not be recovered in more recent locations, proving the species went extinct more than 66 million years ago. There are a number of cryptid researchers that believe it is to be possible the creature is still around and might be responsible for a number of cryptid reports. Located within the Canadian province of Quebec is that of Lake Champlain, a freshwater lake that holds more than 300 reported sightings of the serpentine-like creature that many claim to perhaps be a distant cousin to that of the Loch Ness Monster. High-quality photographs taken back in 1977 that have been proven to be authentic have been gathered of the creature that show a plesiosaur-like body. This has led many researchers to believe that perhaps this creature, as well as the Loch Ness Monster, could be a surviving modern-day species of the plesiosaur, suggesting that it must spawn in freshwater lakes at specific times of the year. Additionally, a recent camera recording of the Champ cryptid taken back in 2005 by a fisherman and his stepson showed video evidence of the Champ cryptid monster moving throughout the waters during the reported sighting. After 2 retired FBI forensic image specialists reviewed the footage, they found it to be authentic and unmanipulated. Scientific proof of the creature's existence has also been gathered in the modern day. This was after a team of marine specialists working for the Fauna Communications Research Institute used an echolation device. This was to map the bottom of the lake. During this, they picked up an unknown marine animal's sound similar to that of a beluga whale, but from no known marine animal in existence. Additionally, scientists have recently discovered that another long since believed to be extinct species, known as the vampire squid, is still alive. It was discovered in much deeper parts of the darker ocean and capable of staying down at depths lower than previously imagined. The reason why this find was extraordinary is the fact that the only known natural predator to the vampire squid in history is that of the Plesiosaur. This could very well mean that, given the fact that its resources never dwindled in history but were merely relocated to much deeper depths, the Plesiosaur could still have survived the mass extinction events, and that the reason further fossils have yet to be uncovered is due to the depths at which they reside. Today, the monster is revered at a status similar to that of the Loch Ness Monster and has become the centre of cryptid enthusiasts attempting to prove the viability of a surviving plesiosaur species in the modern day. The Georgia Raptor. Back on July 25th of 2008, a young 18-year-old man and his grandfather went on a trip down into the forests of Georgia. This was in the hope of bagging a fresh deer on a small hunting escapade. The trip had been planned for more than a year in advance, and the two were wanting to look into older areas which do not usually have a lot of human activities. They hoped to find a native species of deer that were not as skittish of human intervention in the region. The grandson wrote a letter in which he described that as he was on the hunting trip with his grandfather at around 3:30 p.m, when the two were walking down what appeared to be an animal trail, they heard a strange noise that they previously had never heard before. Suddenly, he describes that something started slowly walking out from behind the bushes and onto the pathway roughly 150 yards in front of them. The creature appeared at first to be similar in size and shape to that of a velociraptor. However, the two described that the creature had feathers down the nape of its neck and at the edges of its body. This has earned the creature the name of the Georgia Raptor, and ever since this first reported sighting, many others have come forward about encountering the creature, with some even believing that it could be a surviving species of a large bird-like creature that has directly descended from a family of the raptor known as the Troodon. Others have reported hearing strange noises in the night and even finding strange specimens of feces that appeared to have been created from that of a larger bird, similar to that of an ostrich. For those that are not aware, the ostrich is a very close descendant to that of the families related to the velociraptors, and even have many of the same physical structures and group-like intelligences. This could very well be supporting evidence of a yet-to-be-uncovered descendant of the raptor living in the wooded areas of the state of Georgia. Atacama Raptor. Back in 2004, a Spanish family visiting the Atacama Desert of Chile claimed to have seen a strange dog-like kangaroo creature that chased their vehicle as they made their way back to Arica. They described the animal as appearing to stand at a little over 6 feet tall, ran on its hind legs similar to a bipedal creature, possessed razor-sharp teeth, and seemed to fit the description of a dinosaur-like bird closely resembling a kangaroo. This has led many to support the idea that perhaps there is a direct descendant of an ancient raptor species that has survived well into the modern day, though many researchers are scared to make such assumptions as the sightings and reports have been few and far between, and the natural environment of the Atacama Desert is hardly capable of supporting large natural wildlife. The thylacine is still alive. Commonly referred to as the Tasmanian Tiger, the thylacine has been a species in recent years that appears to be at the centre of a number of monster sightings. These encounters have left many people to believe that perhaps the old species was never fully eradicated back during the hunting eradication of the 1930s. According to documents during the early 1900s, the thylacine was viewed as one of the most threatening animal species to the natural ecosystem, as they multiplied in rapid numbers after feeding on Australian livestock. The abundance of food due to agriculture led to the species growing in large numbers. This was an issue, and the locals began to fear that the thylacine would soon be devouring all of the livestock and moving deeper into towns and villages across the country. This led to the government taking action and promoting residents and farmers to hunt the creature, which led to its entire eradication in 1936 after the last known Tasmanian tiger died alone in an Australian zoo. Fortunately enough, there have been a number of individuals that have claimed to have spotted the creature while going on hikes. Not only did they have their natural striped colours, but were also cited as having the elongated jaws and razor-sharp teeth that many know the Tasmanian tiger to have possessed. As the years go by, more and more sightings of the creature have been made, leaving many to believe that perhaps there are small numbers of the species that survived and are slowly recovering from the losses. But what do you all think of these incredible encounters with prehistoric creatures that researchers can't debunk and only provide further evidence for the existence of modern-day prehistoric species? Be sure to leave your questions and answers in the comment section below and help us to grow this community while working to solve these unexplained mysteries. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos.